So we're going to enjoy the last day in autumn in Bywater. Gotta say hi to the horses. I wish they would let me have a horse in the game. I was gonna mention something else that really bothers me about Tales of the Shire. I can't put my flowers in the pots. There's decorative pots and you can't put your flowers in them that you grew, and I just grow the prettiest, most gorgeous flowers and I end up having to sell them all because there's nothing else to do with them. And I don't like that. So I want to change the whole layout of the garden. I was going to actually sketch something out just to get an idea of the space. I haven't done it yet, but I want to do that because I think spring and summer I'm going to want a gorgeous, gorgeous garden. So I can do what I want in the game. In real life, when I planted my wildflowers, I don't know what's growing. I'm just kind of hopeful that some of them are real flowers. There were some really interesting gardening classes on Craftsy. Most of them are behind a paywall, but I took a free one and I really enjoyed it. One of their tips was to take a picture of your garden and turn it black and white and look at the different textures, and I think that was a really cool idea. I'm also struggling with the interior design. The dwarven furniture is too big for the hobbit hole. It's just too big for the hobbit hole. So I'm having that trouble too, and there's a couple glitches where I try to put the furniture away and I can't. And I was going to buy more outfits, but I have been spending all my money on flowers and gardening. Pretty much. I haven't done that much interior decorating. I was waiting to unlock the rest of the house, and so I was going to unlock some outfits, but no, I just have enough to get ready for winter, basically. I think if I had a more of a cottage style, I would enjoy this a lot more. There's a lot of options for some really cute flower print cottage stuff, decor in this game, but it's just not what I use. Every single time I decorate a room, it's not what I do. I love rainy days in autumn. They are definitely my favorite in the Shire. Yeah, so I've been experimenting with the interior and I'm just not happy with it. I need to keep working on it. I'm gonna check our mail. See, we get all these cute decorations from everybody, and I think it's charming. But yeah, I've experimented with the different rooms, and I need to work more on my pantry. I need to use more out of my pantry, honestly. There's my garden with my pumpkins. Growing these in real life takes so much longer. I am watching the raspberries put up their little buds. I think it's going to be a growth year for the raspberries. I don't think they're going to set this year. But yeah, it takes time, but there's nothing like a homegrown raspberry, and nothing like it. The store-bought raspberries don't compare. The frozen ones, no good. The regular ones you buy, no good. The homegrown raspberries are the only good ones. I wanted to go to like Bear Lake for the Raspberry Festival. I haven't made it, but someday. Anyway, so I'm trying to plan out my hobbit garden because my real life gardening is fraught with disaster. The birds dug up my wildflower seedlings, and so I don't know what's left. So I'm gonna have to wait another month to find out. So I thought about getting some more wildflower seeds, but I was trying to plant native seeds, and it's a lot harder to find native seeds than I thought it was. So, but the birds and the other animals are really off schedule this year because it was such a warm winter. So, like, everything is just wrong. It's just not right. And I'm seeing a lot of animal behavior that I would associate with being actually in the spring, and it happened like in the dead of winter because we didn't really have winter. So the migration routes of the birds, they didn't migrate. The feral cats had an extra season. It's just not my favorite year. I don't want it to be this warm next year. But I also don't see how that's going to change, you know? But this is the other thing about this game that's really nice, is that the seasons remain in place. And you only grow certain things within the season. You have a certain amount of time. And I think that might be what some people would hate about the game. Because in real modern life, we do everything out of season. We're always doing everything all the time. But when it comes to actually growing things or raising animals or doing any of these things or hobbies or crafts, it takes time. It takes effort and dedication to do these things. And when the entire process is condensed to a 1-minute video, it doesn't do it justice. Oh, I was looking at that guy because I was wondering if he was our love interest. He's not. We don't get a love interest in Tales of the Shire. If we really wanted to get engaged, we'd just go run off with someone. I think that's the formality for that one. But yeah, it takes a lot of time and a lot of heartache, and it's hard work, and no one should fault that. There's a lot of unimportant work that pays a lot more, but feeding people and taking care of people, I think, and animals, probably the top 3 most important things in society. A lot of farmland is being... We won't get into that. But like most farms, just to raise awareness of this fact, when you see homestead or farming influencers, the farm is not what makes the money. The influencing or the courses or another business is usually what makes the money, because farmers are typically always in debt. Just with how things are and the equipment and everything else, as well as raising livestock, it's become nearly impossible in this economy. So be nice to the farmers. We have a really high rate of burnout for a reason. But yeah, so as I was saying, I think that's why a lot of people actually wouldn't like this game, because of that pacing and because you're set within the seasons. I think it would drive a lot of people nuts because they're not used to that anymore. We're going to work during blizzards. We're doing all sorts of things in every season, and we're equally active all year, pretty much. Nothing slows down, nothing takes a break. I don't know if that's sustainable, but it's kind of how the culture has moved. So I love this game, and I think that element of being in the seasons and moving slowly, so you can't run and you can't jump in the game, I think that actually helps me slow down and appreciate what's going on more. I enjoy the scenery a lot more, even though I've hopped through the forests many times now. I still enjoy it every time I do it. And if I'm kind of not really connecting that day, I turn on an audiobook while I go foraging or fishing or whatever it may be. We have to visit Sandyman for flour. I keep running out. I have been doing a lot of meals with the other hobbits because I was hoping to unlock more tales. I haven't really. I mean, with some of the hobbits you unlock foraging spots or trading spots, but I really liked unlocking the stories. And when the story with Neffy, for example, she talks about a dwarven treasure buried somewhere, why didn't we go look for it? That would have been a perfect little adventure. Or when we had to go rescue young Tom's cow. I liked those little miniature adventures where I actually had to go do tasks. I miss having Gandalf around now that the main story's over. I just... I'm struggling to figure out what to do next with the game. So what I'm going to do right now is make a bunch of jams because I want to trade them for flowers. And I'm going to edit all that out because I had to make like 20 of them. So we're not going to sit there and watch me do that. It's such a pretty day in the rain. I think the sound and the ambiance is what makes it nice. As you see, I used a dwarven stone wall to protect myself against my neighbors. To be honest, I'm neighbors with Willow Took, and she's one of my favorite characters, so that's a joke. I just thought it made the garden look better to have a wall around it. I really liked how the hobbit holes are all designed differently. They make a lot of sense in the layout. They're really pretty. That fence that was broken that I had to fix, that bothered me from day one in the game. Every time I walked past it, I was like, why isn't that fixed? Yeah, so I'm buying some taller flowers as well as more of the phlox. Is that what it's called? I'm getting more of those. I need a lot more of those. I was thinking of doing a pink garden for spring. A lot of pinks and whites. So in real life, I planted my wildflowers, and because the birds kind of dug up my seedlings for me, I don't know what's growing. I know it's not weeds. but I'm not sure what it is. Because I got a seed mix and now I'm kind of regretting it. I think a seed mix is more effective when you're planting a lot, but I have a very small patch, so I don't know what's going to come up. Of course, the raspberries might not set this year, and the farm over here has gorgeous peaches. So I was hoping maybe we'd get to go peach picking again this year, but it's a lot of effort to do. I don't know if we're going to do it, but yeah. Picking things at the farm is fun. It's just not always cost effective. I make all my money off my flowers. I still wish I could put them in vases for my house. I think it'd be gorgeous. We're gonna go forage for cranberries because there won't be any during the winter. And I might want to make cranberry jam to buy some flowers. So I have a dedicated purpose. It's just so gorgeous right here. It's just gorgeous everywhere you look. I should have gone up to the lookout towers because I really like that view as well, but it's later in the day anyway, so we'll just keep doing this. I wish there were more lighting options in the decorations. I got like 2 lamps and that was it. I wasn't really happy with that. I wish there was lamps and other things I could put in the hobbit hole. Like an oil lamp, just as an example. There's just a few things about the gameplay that as I'm progressing near the end of my first playthrough that I'm kind of wishing were a bit different, or there's a couple big bugs I wish were fixed too. Now, I used to get so mad because you couldn't run everywhere. And now I don't mind as much. The only problem with it is that I run out of time to do everything I want to do in a day. That kind of happens in real life anyway. Because I always stop and pick mushrooms in the game. The scenery's gorgeous though. Pretty much anywhere you look, any angle you look, it's really natural, it's really homey, it's very immersive. So I love that about the whole layout of the game. I especially love this little forest portion. It's probably my favorite part of the map. I do get lost here. I don't know how I do it, but I've been over here 15 times or more, probably more. And I learned that if you pull your lantern out at night over here in the forest area, that's how I found all my butterfly cups. I could not find them. I spent days looking for them. And I found out that I could find them much easier with a lantern at night. I don't know if they even show up over here otherwise, because it marks on the map that they're here, but I couldn't find them until I tried that trick. I'm very jealous of Delphinium's house because she lives in a tree, and I think that's very cool. It's a massive tree. So, you know the Colorado River, the Grand Canyon, and the Petrified Forest? That used to be a bayou. The petrified wood came down the bayou, and it fossilized and turned into crystal, essentially. I'm not using the right words, but it's really interesting to think about how huge trees used to be where the Sonoran Desert was, and just water. Things change so quickly, and yet so slowly. We gotta go visit the horse. I really still wish I had a horse in this game. Why don't I get my own little farmland? I'm a hobbit of impeccable reputation. Anyway. It's okay, we can't all inherit Bag End. And live comfortably. Very comfortably. As host, he knew his duty, though it was ever so painful. He may have to go without. Remember, Bilbo and the dwarves and the cakes. So I tried to do something with my garden design where whenever you walk past a window in the house, you see something beautiful outside the window. I've had mixed success. I got inspiration from the Burroughs' home in town, but I don't know, you don't really see things as well as I had hoped that you would. So I'm still experimenting with flower placement around the house. I mean, it doesn't have to look like a model home, but why not? And like I said, with the interior, I really won't know what to do with it until everything's opened up. So there's a lot of gameplay still to do. I'm just missing that the main story isn't going on anymore. So it's very relaxing and I very much enjoy it, but I miss having Gandalf pop up. I miss having little tasks to do. I just feel like I'm cooking meals every day, which isn't bad, but the story's really the driving factor of the game. And here we are, our first cold winter's day. I'm trying not to get the winter blues, but I definitely do. Even in game, I get just tired of everything being snowy. It is beautiful though. And the sound design is incredible. Besides my voice, everything else gets really quiet. And all the colors make sense, and oh yeah, this Lost Fathom. I never did figure that out, by the way. I have no idea what that's about, because I tried to go talk to Nora Burrows about it, and nothing came of it, so I don't know why there was a random package. Here's my chicken's little house. In real life, they prefer to be in a little box when they lay eggs. But I like that they built the coop into the hobbit hole. I think that was really efficient design. There's my ducks. Hi, ducks. I'd be feeding them every day in real life. I feed the birds. And I've been rewarded because my favorite birds come back and visit, including owls, which are definitely a favorite. So now I have to water everything, and the flowers disappear as I walk past. It drives me... I don't like it. I wish I could see the flowers. Look, they just disappear on me. I can't see what I planted. The whole point of planting it was to look at it. When it's invisible, I don't get to enjoy it. We'll be fine. It's just one of those things. So I've experimented with different ways to plant flowers to see if it fixes it, but I probably have to do a bug ticket. Anyways, it's winter. That's the last of autumn in Bywater.